Today I would like to introduce you to Australian driftwood artist Alan Borg. Due to his remote location and limited internet access, this interview took place through an email. Alan Borg is an artist who discovered his passion for design and sculpting later on in life. After 10 years of work as a machinist and fitter for an aerospace company in Australia, Alan and his wife decided a change was needed and moved to a remote, rural location in South Australia. While he and his family walked the beach weekly collecting driftwood and debris for many years, it wasn't until they stumbled upon a leafy sea dragon that his first sculpture came to mind, thus leading to a new line of work. Over the past year, Alan has traveled over 15,000 kilometers, that's over 9,300 miles, visiting different coastlines, cleaning up driftwood and other debris. This is a family effort completed by Alan, his wife, and daughters, who spend their time collecting driftwood, beach glass, rope, and plastic that washes up on the shores of the Australian coastline. Any materials that he cannot use in his designs are disposed of responsibly. Through his artwork, Alan hopes to share with others the importance of living an environmentally friendly lifestyle, an effort he strives to maintain in the shipping of his artworks, where he uses the least amount of plastic packaging possible to transport and ship others his creations. Alan begins the design process by sorting his materials. While some pieces have more obvious uses like rope for hair, others require a little bit more thought before they become part of one of his sculptures. Alan strives to use the collected driftwood and beach glass in the condition they were found in, making as few cuts or alterations as possible. Before starting a piece, he draws out his design, planning where larger structural pieces might be needed. He tends to leave pieces loose and repositionable until he is happy with their placements. His sculptures are held together with adhesive, nails, screws, and other mounting wire or stands. On occasion, Alan displays his artwork in galleries throughout Australia. While he prefers to keep his artwork local, he has sold various pieces internationally to include locations such as the UK and the United States. Additionally, Alan's sculptures are viewed internationally through his Facebook and Instagram accounts. As we close up this introduction, Alan had a few words of wisdom he would like to share with aspiring artists. For beginners, drawing and planning helps you think through a project, but as you become more familiar with your materials, it's okay for the materials to talk to you and for you to follow that instinct on how to fit items and pieces together. He strongly suggests to keep your artwork true and original to you. Let your interests shine through. Making art should be enjoyable, and if it's not, sometimes that means walking away and taking a break. While you can look to others for inspiration, this is your artwork, so your style and ideas should be the focus. In this next part, I'll explain how I created my own variation of a low-relief nature sculpture inspired by the artist Alan Borg. Materials needed. For the background, an animal outline cut out of cardboard. Your nature-based items, I used dry sticks, pine needles, and ornamental grass. My adhesive was Modge, Podge, and a hot glue. For no glue, you can save your artwork by taking a photo to share with others. And my editing materials were scissors, a box cutter, and an Xacto knife. After gathering my nature-based materials, I began this project by cutting out the outline of my goose from cardboard. From there, I looked for sticks that were curved similar to the outline of my goose's body. Before gluing anything down, I made sure I had enough sticks to fit around the edge and in the interior of my animal's body. I then began to lay out the wings. I wanted to use items with a more feather-like texture, so I selected dead and dying ornamental grass from my garden. My original thought was to use Modge Podge to adhere the ornamental grass to my cardboard outline, but after several test areas, I realized that the ornamental grass had a smooth surface and that the Modge Podge would not adhere well to it. I allowed my grass to hang over the edge of my cardboard so space and light could be seen through the feathers similar to a real goose. I continued to fill in the remaining space of my cardboard goose until no areas of cardboard were visible. The same assembly technique can be applied to other animals like this squirrel. I loved the spikes and bristly texture created by the dry pine needles. Combining several together led to a more realistic and furry tail. I encourage you to look through the resources you have available to you in your own yards. Let the texture speak to you like the pine needles did for me. Remember, if you do not have liquid glue or hot glue available to you, do not let this stop you from creating. Your artwork can be preserved through photographs that you can share with others. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to check out my channel for more at-home art updates and ideas.